Hello everyone, GalacticStorm here, and today we are doing a special edition of our Black Ops 3 Weapon Guide. And today, we got ourselves the L4 Siege, probably one of the worst rocket launchers viewed by critics, but it can be good depending on some certain circumstances. Now, what does this weapon look like? Obviously I think it looks like between a sex love baby between a crossbow and a javelin, times that by 4 because of the 4 rockets, obviously. But let's see why this weapon sucks according to most. Let's look at the stats. The damage on this thing is very low. At just 2 shots, it usually takes 1 with a launcher, 1 direct impact either with or without flak jacket, but 4 rockets with flak jacket, and it has a small blast radius compared to the XM53. Range is short to medium to range, but it will go longer while locked. Penetration ability, there is none to talk about due to this thing being a launcher. Rate of fire is the fastest within the class, and it's semi-automatic as well, at 150 rounds per minute. Aim time is very slow, like in the rest of the launchers, at 350 milliseconds. Hipfire is very low, minuscule like the NX Shell Claw, but you can also hipfire with this weapon. Magazine capacity, however, is the largest within the launcher count, at 4 rockets. Reload times are pretty slow, however, the slowest in the class, at 3.6 seconds. Recoil is moderate, but not really a factor due to the rate of fire on this weapon. So, entirely, what the hell are we going to do with this weapon? This weapon is not really good against like a whole bunch of people or in very large maps, but we're going to be using this weapon in tighter choke points. We're not going to be using it as much as a primary, but we're going to use it on choke points, objectives, and just to have them all round up in small groups and just keep on firing rockets at them. So first things first, we're going to use the perk 1 greed and the perk 2 greed for our 5 perk loadout, but we're not going to be using the L4 Siege as a primary. We will use another primary as well, just for distractions and such, and for keeping like small stranglers and such. Submachine guns, assault rifles, and shotguns would be the primary choice of weapon. And for me, we're going to choose the Kuda because it's more balanced, it has a low rate of fire, it's accurate, and it has a small magazine capacity. A decent magazine capacity, I would say. And for our first perk, we are going to be using flak jacket, so when we're hip firing and we won't be trying to hit each other ourselves and not get killed and by other explosives. And for the second perk choice, blind eye would be our second perk choice due to the weapon systems and such, and it will make our life a lot easier. Fast hands will be our next perk choice, so we can swap weapons and equipment much faster and sprint while aiming. And this one is no ifs, ands, or bust. Scavenger is a 100% must with the Siege, due to its low ammo capacity. And for our final perk choice, we are going to be using Tactical Mask, so we will be reducing the effect of flash, bangs, concussions, and shock charges. Well, the tactical and lethal could be your biggest choice. You could use the concussion or the frag grenade, or you can use a suppressor for the weapon. And for the pros and cons of this thing, it has the biggest magazine out of all the launchers, it's semi-automatic, you can free fire this weapon or log on to, and it's great against groups of enemies that are tightly bunched. The cons of this thing, however, it has no magazine after you fire all the rockets, lowest damage in the launchers, slow handling traits, and you will need twice the rockets on flak jackets, score streaks, and has a smaller blast radius. This thing can be a pain in the ass, but can do good overall depending on the circumstances. So without further ado, let's siege our enemies.
Organic seed.
Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to vote, rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Be sure to look at my Facebook page down below. And next week we are just going to go back to our regular schedule and we're going to review the SVG 100. Until then, Galactic Storm saying, keep charging, bitches.